This is my second time going live on YouTube, so I'm feeling really good. Very proud of myself. So hi everybody and welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya Luisa and today I'm going to be talking about activating that divine spark by using your feminine energy. So I did another live yesterday and this is like the part 2 to it. So this is for anyone who, if you're in a long-term relationship, let's say you've been married for 23 years or 50 years, or let's say, you're single and you just want to learn these things so that you know them before you get into a relationship. Wherever you are on the spectrum, this information can be valuable to you. So I just want you to know that. So welcome in and let's get started. So I want to just go over something that we went over yesterday, which I think is super important. So in relationships that we have in our life, okay, relationships with our parents, relationships with our neighbor, relationships with our siblings, relationship with our colleagues, these relationships are based off of logic, they're based off of equality, and they're based off of fairness. For example, let's say that your colleague, ends up helping you out with a project and they really didn't have to, but they did it anyway just because, you're a great person. Well, out of equality, out of fairness, and just logically, you would then in return look out for your colleague as well, and anything that they need that you can provide, you would do that because it's about fairness and equality and just all that good stuff. When it comes to romantic relationships, this no longer applies. Romantic relationships are based off of vibration and frequency. Has everything to do with vibration and frequency. Okay? So logic, leave it at the door. When you come home to your partner or your partner comes home walking through that door, logic goes out the door. Okay? It doesn't belong in the romantic setting. Everything is frequency and vibration. These are things I went over yesterday, but I just think it's important to add again. So masculine men are actually wired to pick up on your vibration and your frequency. They're not necessarily always listening to what you're saying out your mouth. They're listening to your vibration and your frequency that speaks louder to them. Okay? Remember that communication is only 7% verbal. The most communication that you're sending out, that you're saying, that you're speaking to your partner is through your vibration, through your frequency, and through your body language. That's very important. Okay? So remember that. So what do we do? So how do we, if we are in a relationship, and I went over this yesterday, but a lot of women are conditioned, and men too, are conditioned to be in these 50-50 relationships, in these relationships where the woman is paying half of the bills. How then you're like, okay, Maya, I've gotten myself into this. How do I then transition out so that we can maintain that spark and that romance and he can be moving towards me? So I want you to remember that men fall in love with chasing you, with providing for you, pursuing you, in all of these things where he's moving in and moving towards you. That's how they fall in love. If you start moving towards him, there's no space for that. So when you come into these 50-50 relationships and you're paying half of the bills and you're burnt out because then you have to come home and cook and clean and child rear, all of these things, it kills off the polarity. So what my suggestion, and this is based off of is to allow the man to provide. allow the man to provide. And he might be against this in the beginning because he's been conditioned as well, or maybe because his mom and all of that, that's been the dynamic that he was raised in. But just have an open mind. Allow him to pay for the evolutionary basics, which means the food and the shelter. Okay? Because this is really important, because there is an innate need inside of the man to provide for you. He doesn't even know this. But if you're bringing half and you're paying half and all of these things, you're robbing him of that chance to provide for you. You're robbing him of that chance, that innate need that he has, that he might not even be aware of, that he needs to provide, he needs to give in this way. This is how he loves, and this is how he gets activated in his manhood. This is how he feels more of a man, when he's providing. So if a man is not providing, if it's a 50-50 relationship, here's some things that happen. The man can sometimes feel less confident in his manhood. He may start to withdraw from you. He may start playing lots of video games. He may start working late, even if he doesn't have to. He doesn't know why. He just doesn't want to be around you. It is because you're coming forward with this masculine energy, but there's not that opportunity for him to provide. It's a natural instinct that he has. Okay, this is like a natural instinct. So another thing that you can do to activate the spark is, and I talked about this yesterday, but it's so important, is this concept of surrender. And I know a lot of people are like, get freaked out by it. It's really a conscious thing. It's really allowing your partner, your man, to lead. It's allowing him, it's releasing the control and allowing him to lead, allowing him to be in the position of the leader, allowing him to be that provider. That activates something within him. If you continue to try to control, can try to nag, and try to do all of these things, it repels his energy, and it kills the passion in the relationship and the polarity. Now, I'm not saying to be a doormat. I'm not saying that you just lay around and allow this man to just drag you here and there. What I'm saying is that you don't have to control every aspect of everything. Everything doesn't have to be exactly your way. Allow yourself to be led. Allow him to lead in many situations. Let him lead in the relationship. Turn off that concept of equality. Okay? We exercise that equality so much outside here that we really try to bring it into our relationships, and it's like, doesn't work. Again, this is their natural instinct. This is something that is within them to do. So another thing to do is you have to trust his decisions, which can be really hard. Because a lot of times if you counter everything or you try to criticize every decision that he makes, then it takes away their self-esteem, and it kills off the polarity. Now, again, I'm not saying that you have to be a doormat and just get dragged around. I'm saying that in a lot of situations, we try to control and try to make it to be only our way because of our nervous system can't handle it, because our nervous system is set in a certain set point to be controlling, to be the one that's doing everything in our way. And it has to be a relaxed state and a calmer state and a different set point for your nervous system, so that you're able to be deeper in your feminine energy and you're able to relax and be led. Okay? Criticizing him, again, that's killing off the polarity. And so a lot of times this can be really difficult if we had a difficult childhood, if we have traumas in our body, because you might see that having to just lean back and have that act of surrender can actually freak you out, because you do want to control because of past things that happened to you in your childhood. That's why I said yesterday, and I'm gonna say it again, divine feminine energy is a call to ascension. It's a call to healing, because you're healing the parts of you that trigger you back into in your unnatural state. Your natural state as a feminine essence being is to be primarily, for the majority, in your feminine energy, but not all the time. So I'm not saying to be in your feminine energy 100% of the time. Absolutely not. Because what that will do is it will exhaust your partner, because you then become more like a liability than an asset. Why? Because you're not contributing in the way that he needs you to. You become more like a child because you do need to be in your masculine energy sometimes, okay? But not all the time. So I would say 70 to 80% in your relationship, you want to be in your feminine energy, and the rest you want to be in your masculine, because it is a partnership. It is, especially, if you have a marriage and you guys are living together and you're raising kids together, he needs a partner. He needs someone to run the household with. He needs his queen to bounce ideas off of. Think of Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. Would he be like the leader of the world, that way that he led the world, if he didn't have that queen by his side? Absolutely not. If you listen to any of Barack Obama, President Obama's interviews, he always says we. He always says me and Michelle. Why? Because that was his queen, that was his counterpart, that was his co-pilot. So that's what they need. They don't need a doormat. They don't need someone that's just always leaning back. They need someone that knows when to switch it, to step in, to have that, bring that masculine energy as well, so that you guys can be like a power couple. So that's very important. So I'm not saying to be in your feminine energy 100%, but I'm speaking to the alpha females out there that used to be like me, that used to be all the time in your masculine energy and bring all that masculine energy into your relationship. A majority of women are mostly in their masculine. It's just the way that our society is the way that our culture raises us, unfortunately. So another thing that's really important is that although a man may say this, it's not true. So this is what I'm about to say. A man may say, or he may think, that he wants you to make him the center of his universe, and he actually doesn't. He thinks that, or he might think that he does, but he actually doesn't. His nervous system can't handle that. If you are making your man the center of your universe, it's too much forward chasing energy on him, and that repels him. He doesn't want all of that rushing towards him. Okay? What men want is they want a woman that has a full life. You have a life that is popping. Okay, you have a career that fills your soul, you have friends, you have hobbies, you have passion, you have fun, you have adventure, you have all of this like beautiful world. Just think of like your life as like a beautiful swirling world filled with magic and fun. He just wants to join that world. He doesn't want you to make him your world. It's too much. That's very masculine, it's very chasing. Be in your world, be popping, do your thing, keep upgrading yourself, keep educating yourself, keep growing, keep evolving, keep doing things that fill you up with joy, and allow that partner to be a part of your world, but don't make him your world. Another thing, I took notes, so happy before I took notes because I get all over the place. So what do you do if your partner pulls away, if you feel like his energy is pulling back, he's not moving towards you. So this can be many reasons. Sometimes it could be because you're just simply too much in your masculine energy and you need to fall back and be um, and drop into a calmer, relaxed flow state of your feminine. Sometimes it's just natural that things happen in their life. Let's say they have a stressful thing going on at work. Let's say, they had a disagreement with a family member. Things happen. So if you find that your partner, your man, is not coming towards you, he seems stressed out, he's stressed out about something, that's not the time to be all up on him, like, why you're not coming towards me? You used to kiss me, you used to do that. You have to match his energy. Okay? If he needs a moment, if he needs some time to think, if he needs some time to process, allow him that time. Go do you. Go, listen to your favorite podcast. Go take a dance class. Go hang out with your girls. Do something for yourself, and then be available. When he comes and he's ready, he will come back to you, and then you receive him warmly. But if you're all up in his face, trying to fix his problems, trying to control him, trying to tell him what to do, trying to coach him, it just repels the energy and it repels the romantic spark. You're not his coach and you're not his mom. You're his lover. You're his partner. So allow him the space to process his emotions and hold that anchor for him, because it's like saying we need to be available for them for their whole range of emotions. It's very comforting for them to know that we can still hold space when they're up and when they're down. And we're not just going to be there for them or need them to be up and happy in order for us to love them. They need to be able to be in their full range of emotions, and we're just going to be right there. A steady pulse, a steady anchor. Receive him warmly. That's very important. So when he does come back around, if he did have a moment, if he has something going on with his work, with his life, allow him the space to process. And then when he's ready, you don't be like, oh, you took forever. Like, no. Allow him to be a human being with a range of emotions. He will come back. And when he does, receive him warmly, open body, all that good stuff. So, and the last thing that I'm going to leave this video on is to remember that feminine energy looks different on every single woman. My feminine energy, my yin energy, looks a lot different from my mom's, from my sisters, from everyone else's. We are so different, and there's such a range of feminine energy. So I don't want you to think that it has to look a certain way. The most important thing about feminine energy is the feeling, is the frequency and the vibration. Feminine energy, again, it's receiving, it's magnetic, it draws you in, it pulls you in towards it's like this. It's magnetic. And that looks different on every woman. And there's not just one style of feminine energy. There's many styles, many flavors. Another thing tonight, I just wanted to note that mothering, if you tend to mother your man, if you have a relationship where your partner has like a mother wound, maybe he has a strange relationship with his mom, or maybe he, God forbid, lost his mom or whatever, like, you might be stepping in on that mom role. And again, that you think it's feminine energy, mothering is actually masculine. Mothering is masculine energy. Nurturing is feminine energy. Mothering is like what I do with my boys. when I'm mothering, I'm in my masculine. I'm leading, I'm teaching, I'm protecting, I'm totally in my mind, like, come on, let's go, let's do this. I'm like cerebral, okay? And also with my heart, my intuition, but like for the most part, it can be very masculine. Nurturing is feminine energy. But when you're showing up and you're mothering, it's actually a form of control. You're actually in your masculine and you're killing the polarity in the relationship. So I just wanted to add that. There's so many flavors of feminine energy. And allow yourself to explore all the flavors of you that's authentic to you. Okay? Feminine energy is like nature. It's not always sunny. Sometimes there's a tsunami. Sometimes there's a rainstorm. Sometimes it's hailing. Sometimes it's just cold. Sometimes it's like warm and, tropical. So allow yourself to have a range of feminine energy and feminine flavors. Okay? Explore that. Dark feminine energy is more like that diva energy, and that's actually what I suggest when when I have clients who are showing up with that mother energy. I actually suggest them to really embody the dark feminine, the diva energy, the bad bitch energy. Like, I'm a bad bitch. Sometimes you need to evoke that if the mother stuff is start coming out, so that's a good counteract. But the most important thing is that you're authentic. What I like to do, what I like to teach, I like to teach feminine energy because we live in such a masculine world. As women, we have embodied our masculine. We know how to turn that on real quick because we live in our masculine. We live in it all the time. So what I do is I teach the feminine energy kind of like a muscle, and you grow that muscle and you live and you bask in your feminine energy so that oh, you have that awareness. Oh, I'm in my masculine right now and I need to drop into my feminine, and I teach you exactly how to do that, how to activate your body, how to activate your feminine energy so that it's not a foreign energy you have to find no, it's right there embodied when you need it. And it's not like so like binary where it's just like, oh, this is masculine and this is feminine. We have both running through our body all the time. So it's kind of like dimmers. So if you have both, right? Like sometimes you will be, 70% in your feminine and 30% in your masculine. And sometimes, like at work, you might be 90% in your masculine and 10% in your feminine. It's never just like 100 and 0. No, it's like dimmer. But what I do and what I like to do with my clients is I really like to flex that feminine muscle. I like to work through whatever's in the body that's triggering you out of your feminine so that you can access it, so that you can deeply dive into it, so you can bask in it, so that when you need to and you want to be just relaxed and flow and calm and present, you have access to that energy because it's within you, it's in your body, it's your natural state. And sometimes we just have to remove those blocks and release and let go so that we can come back to our natural state as feminine essence beings, to be in our feminine energy 70 to 80% of the time. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's our natural state of being. It's the best way to be for health, for our body. So many women I'm seeing more and more, because I'm also in the fertility world, of women with imbalance in their hormones, and they're running out their adrenals. Why? Because they don't have the hormones to withstand being in your masculine energy all the time. Our body is not made for that. Physically, it's just not. We're just different. And so it's for your health, for your well-being. It's so important to go into your natural state, which is your feminine energy. Feminine energy is deeply powerful and deeply, deeply transformative. So I hope you can utilize the content in this video and start to apply it into your relationship, and let me know how it goes. On July 29th, I am doing a big birthday bash. It's a belly dance birthday bash. It's a sacral activation. Your sacral is a huge life force, vital energy force that is located underneath your navel. And I am trained to activate this life force energy, to activate the sacral, to heal the sacral, and to just expand beyond what you think is actually possible. The sacral energy is life force, it's creativity, it's your money, it's your relationships, it's your love, it's your emotions, it's everything. And so when we activate that juice, when we activate that power, our entire world changes. Your entire world changes. So get ready for the activation. All of the information is in the description in this video. I'll see you at the activation on July 29th. And in the meantime, have a wonderful evening or morning or afternoon, wherever you are, and sending you so much love. See you soon. Bye-bye. Peace and love.